Sudhir Vasudeva, and the company is in news, of course, ONGC, the Chairman and Managing Director. Sudhir Vasudeva joins us right now live to speak about, well, the acquisition and lots more that has happened as well. Good having you, Mr. Vasudeva. Thanks so much for taking the time out. Let's just start off with the rationale for the acquisition. I mean, it's a small stake that you are buying, possibly becomes large with OVL's current production as well. But give us a brief rationale of why you decided to take this 2.5% stake.
The rationale is as simple as that. Although we are taking 2.72%, which has corporations holding in this, but the field is very big. I mean, this Azeri, Chirag and Guneshli field contributes nearly 80% of Azerbaijan's production. And the production from this field is 700,000 barrels. So our stake will entitle us to about 19,000 barrels of oil production, nearly 1 million ton per annum, which will add about 15% to OVL's present production volumes. So from that viewpoint, it is very important for us. And this is a very good quality of oil, which is also being used by our subsidiary MRPL.
Right. How will ONGC Videsh fund this acquisition? Is there some debt also that would be raised for the same?
I mean, we are mulling over that issue. ONGC is a cash-rich company, and providing this debt to OVL for financing this is one of the options. Otherwise, raising debt if it is required. ONGC is a debt-free company. So all those options are there. We are considering the best option.
What to your mind would be the best option at this point, sir?
I would rather not reveal my cards here, but like I told you, I mean, we are cash-rich. So funding this deal, if ONGC has to do that by providing loan to OVL, that's definitely a consideration. And if we have to raise debt or whatever we have to do, we will do that at appropriate time.
All right. How strategic in nature is this acquisition for you as a company? And are you looking at more such opportunities in Gulf countries at this point? Because we've seen that a lot of acquisitions are happening in the Gulf and the African region as far as natural resources and energy assets are concerned.
This was strategically important for us. This has given us a foothold in Azerbaijan, which is important as regards hydrocarbon resources is concerned. This has also given us a foothold in this BTC pipeline, that Baku-Tbilisi-Sehan pipeline, through which this crude oil goes. So from all that, this is important for us, and there are many irons in the fire as regards OVL is concerned, whether it is Gulf countries or other countries. I mean, these are matter of detailing where diligence is going on, and as and when diligence is completed, we'll come back to media and everyone to share our success.
But would you be looking at more acquisitions in Azerbaijan itself?
Why not? In case we have opportunity, we'll definitely look at that. This crude, like talking about ACZ crude, this is a good quality crude, a sweet crude. So from all that, and this is a field which has got very large resources, about 8 billion barrels of recoverable resources, out of which only 1.9 billion barrel has been produced so far. So this field itself has got a lot of reserves. But as regards Azerbaijan, I said that 80% production is already coming from this field. So all other fields put together only contribute 20% of the balanced production.
I know this may not be the best forum to discuss valuations, and I'm not looking to put a ballpark number to that, Mr. Vasudeva. But would there be any kind of a premium that ONGC would look or would have to pay for this acquisition? It's a small one, but critical, as you said, from OVL's point of view.
All these are part of diligence. Whenever we do diligence, I mean, this is part of that. The valuations are done on different considerations, the rate of return, etc. And these are discussed in boardroom. They're not discussed publicly. Okay.
Let's just also talk about, while we have you, also talk about the decisions or the lack of them that got taken on Thursday or Friday. And a lot of people who are connected with the oil and gas space in former capacities as well raised a big question mark over, the fact that decisions are not getting taken and the impact that they would have on marketing the petro products, as well as the kind of burden that some of the companies would have to face. Are you per se disappointed as well that there was no petro price hike?
See, I have been telling in the past as well, I am an eternal optimist, and the first quarter subsidy burden is no barometer to gauge as to what is going to be our annual burden like. So, I mean, we have paid 12,346 for the first quarter. Doesn't mean that this will be multiplied by 4 and we'll end up paying more than 50,000 crores. This certainly is not there. I mean, I draw comfort from the fact that the Ministry of Petroleum has already circulated the note for CCPA for considering raise in petroleum product price. This will happen at appropriate time. So even if we have to pay whatever amount comes in the second quarter, this is finally going to be adjusted in third and fourth quarter.
Right. Coming back to the acquisitions, how much additional investment will be required in this acquisition to ramp up production and other activities?
This is already producing field. I mean, as such, nothing is required to increase production. But there are future phases in this, future development, the possibility of gas production, etc. The capacity requirement of that will unfold as and when the time for those development comes.
Also, a word really on your net realization for crude oil per barrel and how you expect realizations to pan out given the recent volatility that we're seeing in the commodity.
That's what I was just telling. I mean, for the last quarter, we got a realization of only $46.62 a barrel. But still, we could make a reasonable profit because of the fact that the dollar had appreciated vis-a-vis rupee. But I mean, I'm hopeful that in the past also we've been getting remunerative prices. We have got between $50 to $55 in the past. So our request to government has always been that we must get remunerative prices, which today with the cost of production which is moving up every year, we must get $55 to $60, and hopefully we'll get that average for the year.
Right, Mr. Vasudeva, since we have you with us, just a quick response really to these two questions. The CAG has said that that ONGC has the lowest drilling efficiency in the country, even versus Oil India. Also, same are the issues pointed out for exploration activities. What's your take to that statement? And also, CAG has alleged that ONGC appointed Reliance Industries for drilling rig without running a bidding process. So your response really to both these statements?
I would not like to engage in a dialogue on CAGs or response to CAGs. These things. I mean, we are studying. The concerned groups are studying their CAG report and will respond appropriately at appropriate forum. But suffice it to say that as regards ONGC is concerned, out of 7 sedimentary basins, 6 have been discovered by ONGC. Out of 11 billion tons of reserves which have been accreted so far, 8.2 billion has been accreted by ONGC. So if you were tardy, so how all this has happened? I mean, this kind of in 56 or 57 years of our existence, this is what we have done. And specifically in NELP, I don't have the figures, but when we have reviewed this, more than 400 million ton, if I recall collectively, we have accreted that much of reserves in NELP itself. So I mean, there has to be some difference in perception or understanding. This is what we are trying to figure out through the report and all that, and we will respond to CAG appropriately. And as regards the rig which you talked about, I mean, this has been discussed in the board, that the circumstances which were there, non-availability of rigs and our MWP which was important, failing which, I mean, if we didn't drill those wells, the requirement of paying penalties and relinquishments of blocks, etc., that has led us to get this rig. So all that is documented and it has got approval of the board.